Coming up, an update on dozens of dogs rescued from deplorable conditions.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Early in September, 73 dogs were rescued from an Estill County home. Multiple animal rescues stepped in to treat and help the dogs until they could find homes. Lexi Martin met with officials at some local rescues to check on them.
Less than a month ago, 73 dogs were rescued from deplorable conditions at an Estill County home.
Their coats were stained. You can kind of see the discoloration on them, and that was from living in their own feces and urine.
Eden Porter from Fairy Tales Pet Spa in Winchester said they took in 6 terrified dogs. Now those same dogs are loving pets.
They were so sweet, and they're just so affectionate. It's kind of crazy how fast they came around.
Anita Spreitzer with Paws for the Cause was part of the rescue. They kept 6 of the pups until they were fostered.
Amazing that they've survived and turned around and blossomed into these amazing dogs.
One dog died the day of the rescue. Since then, Spreitzer says a few others were put down, a result of them being trapped at the home.
There was a very high amount of pneumonia inside that building. So that can cause lung issues, that can cause asthma.
But happy and healthy, many of the dogs have found or are ready to find their forever homes.
All of the dogs from the 73 dogs case have been adopted besides these 2.
The 6 dogs Spreitzer received are currently being fostered. She says without fosters, she wouldn't be able to save dogs like these.
The more fosters we have, the more lives we can save. And that's where we're at right now.
In Lexington, Lexi Martin, WKYT.
Spreitzer says a few of the dogs with Paws for the Cause may be ready to be adopted as soon as next week. The 2 dogs at Fairy Tales Pet Spa are ready to be adopted now. A man arrested for an attempted murder in Laurel County made his first appearance in court today. A not guilty plea was entered for Richard Johnson. Investigators say Johnson tried to kill a 73-year-old woman. Deputies say they found the victim with multiple stab wounds early Tuesday morning. She was flown to UK Hospital in critical condition. The sheriff's office says Johnson is an ex-boyfriend of a family member of the victim. Johnson is being held on $100,000 bond. He's due back in court next week. Jackson Energy is warning its customers about a scam. The company says scammers are going door to door selling solar panels and claiming they are contractors with Jackson Energy. The company says they do not have any contracts with solar sales companies. Jackson Energy says reports of the scam have come from people in Corbin and southern Laurel County. The search continues for a missing woman in southern Kentucky. Deputies with the Whitley County Sheriff's Department say 46-year-old Tracy West was last seen at a home off New Liberty Road in McCurry County last week. West was reportedly driving a blue 2015 Nissan Versa with tag number 327YTL. Deputies say she was possibly heading to Cumberland Falls State Park. If you have any information, you're asked to call Whitley County Dispatch.
Well, you're tracking some dry weather across the mountains as we close out your Wednesday, but some changes are on the way as early as tomorrow as our next weather system moves through. Tonight, though, up on the radar, we are dry, but clouds do continue to filter into the region as that cold front is not too far away. As we zoom out, you can see some showers over Oklahoma, also Arkansas and Missouri, also far western Kentucky, and that weather system is moving into our direction by tomorrow, so rain chances going to be on the increase, especially for the second half of your Thursday. Those temperatures at this hour in the middle to upper 60s, 66 in Pikeville, up to 70 in Jackson, 63 from Manchester, and 64 in Somerset, also London. As we go into tonight, temperatures not as cool thanks to clouds. They act as a blanket as you wake up on Thursday, and we fall into the middle and lower 60s as you wake up and walk out the door. And be sure to grab the umbrella just in case on your Thursday morning commute, because we are watching out for an increase in that moisture and an increase in those rain chances. Temperatures stay above average on Thursday, topping out in the upper 70s and lower 80s, but some cooler air on the way by this weekend. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. Congressional lawmakers are headed home tonight, no longer able to conduct business on the House floor after the historic removal of the Speaker of the House. As CBS's Skylar Henry reports, several conservative hardliners have thrown their hats into the ring.
All I'm saying is we need to unite the conference. I think I can do that.
High-ranking Republicans Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise announced their candidacy for Speaker of the House Wednesday. Kevin McCarthy, the man who held that job until Tuesday afternoon, was asked about it.
Oh, they're two good friends. They both would do great.
Others may jump in before the first vote's expected next week. Until then, the People's House is closed for business, and many Republicans blame Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who led the charge to remove McCarthy.
I think it was deplorable. I think it was disgraceful. And he put his own petty personal grievances ahead of the country.
Gaetz is standing by his decision.
The nerve of these establishment Republicans to have to take a week to go have a good cry and then blame us for being the reason that we can't get the work done. All we want to do is the work.
The future speaker will have to have the support of at least some of the hardline conservatives who ousted McCarthy. And there's the added pressure of a November 17th deadline to fund the government and avert a shutdown.
We cannot and should not again be faced with an 11th hour decision on brinksmanship that threatens to shut down the government.
Some Republican voters expressed their frustrations.
It makes me almost ashamed to be a Republican. We had a chance to govern, and we decided, oh, we don't want to do that. We'd rather have chaos and disruption.
And paralysis until Republicans in the House can find a speaker that most can support. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Funding for Ukraine could be in danger as Republicans work to elect a speaker and determine their priorities. The Pentagon has warned it's running out of money to replace weapons it's sent to Ukraine. President Biden says he'll make an announcement about Ukraine funding soon. Well, Congressman Hal Rogers was expected to return to Kentucky this evening after missing his first SOAR Summit ever. Rogers and former Governor Steve Beshear worked together to create that organization about 10 years ago. Rogers was tied up in Washington, of course, with the events surrounding the removal of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. He called the ouster a monumental mistake. All of Kentucky's Republican delegation voted to keep McCarthy as Speaker, but Democratic Congressman Morgan McGarvey of Louisville joined other members of his party and 8 Republicans to in the successful effort to vacate the Speaker's chair. Now, the SOAR Summit wrapped up in Corbin earlier today. People were able to listen in on a panel discussion about addiction recovery in the region. The panel was made up of professionals who work in different sectors of the recovery field. The goal was to let people in on the conversations and highlight success stories.
Helping folks that are in recovery get to that point that they can feel self-sufficient is super important, and working that in a way that is recovery safe and friendly and also business safe and friendly. We recognize that, and we want to make sure that we support both sides of that.
Millions of dollars was also awarded to several different projects in various counties at the summit. You can see a list of all those on our website. Letcher County Schools is partnering with a bank in Whitesburg to run a student credit union. The student bank is at the Letcher County Schools Area Technology Center. They partnered with Members Choice Credit Union, but students also get the opportunity to work at the bank. S.J. Brennan with Letcher County Schools says students can make deposits at 2 locations.
You can come to our student credit union here at school. We're open Mondays and Fridays during first period, and you can make your deposit. If it's not during school hours, you can make your deposit at the local branch here in Whitesburg.
Brennan also says students can keep their account open as long as they want, even past graduation. Administrators are also hoping students become more financially savvy by doing this. This morning, Kentucky State Police troopers across the region gathered at various coffee shops or restaurants to meet with the community. It's called Coffee with a Trooper. Here in Hazard, KSP Post 13 troopers met at Hazard Coffee Company downtown, and PIO Matt Gayhart says they enjoy getting out in the community and talking to folks about anything from sports to problems they are seeing in the community.
We want people to approach us and engage with us and talk to us. Without that support and that conversation's happening, oftentimes we don't know about a lot of the things that are happening. So our public, as our biggest supporters, we need those. And we also need them to be our eyes and ears out there. Hopefully, as the years continue, it continues to grow, and we get more and more people to come out and enjoy a cup of coffee with us.
Gayart says they plan to host the event again next year around the same time at Hazard Coffee Company. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, 1 year after her death, hear Loretta Lynn's last message to her fans.
Plus, we are tracking rain chances to return by tomorrow. Your Thursday forecast after this break.